I don't know if you can relate to this, but I can't make art all the time. And it's not even about having time. It's about having energy and motivation and inspiration. If those things aren't flowing, it's a recipe for burnout. I need breaks from my art to recharge and get re-inspired. In today's video, I want to talk about 5 types of hobbies I think every artist or creative should have, and share some of the hobbies I enjoy in each of these categories. There's a few things I like to do outside of painting that I actually think make me a better artist, and the last one's definitely going to surprise you. The first hobby I think every artist should have is another creative hobby, some kind of art that's different than your main art. So watercolor painting is my main art hobby, but I also love mark making. I've shared this before in my mini sketchbook tutorial, but mark making is my favorite thing to do when I'm not painting because it's completely different than watercolor. Different supplies, different setup. I don't have to commit to an entire painting. Mark making is more spontaneous. I can pick it up and put it down, but I get something out of it even if I only spend a few minutes working on it. At the same time, I can get lost in it for hours and make pages full of marks. It also happens to go really well with watercolor. Sometimes I put watercolor down on the page and then do mark making on top. I keep a mark making sketchbook that I take with me wherever I go and make art while I'm waiting around. It's the hobby that keeps on giving. I do mark making to relax and play, but it's also something I look back on for inspiration all the time. In my next video, I'm going to share how to start a mark making sketchbook. If that sounds interesting to you, make sure you subscribe now so that you don't miss my next couple of videos about mark making. The second hobby every artist should have is time outdoors. It could be a morning walk, sitting at the park, or a trip to the zoo or botanical gardens. I try to get outside every day. When I can't, you'll find me inside taking care of my houseplants. Just the feel of soil between my fingers is life-giving. I'm endlessly inspired by plants, birds, and animals. Whenever I'm in a creative rut, nature is the quickest cure. The third hobby is some way of documenting your life. It could be journaling, scrapbooking, filmmaking, or photography. For me right now, it's photography, and I'm definitely an amateur at it. But it's a way that I capture memories and things that inspire me that I might want to paint later. Photography is a great way of training your eye for composition. And while it's nice to try to frame up the perfect shot, I also think it's really valuable to learn how to edit photos. I've shared before how I edit and paint from my own photos, so I'll put a link to that video below. Having a camera roll full of inspiration is definitely helpful when I need ideas for my next painting. My fourth hobby is working out. I know that doesn't sound fun to everyone, but I just feel better when I work out regularly. I sleep better, my energy is up, and my mind is clearer. Now, because I don't actually like working out, I try to pair it with something else I enjoy, like spending time outdoors. So I go for a 20-minute walk every morning and then try to walk 1 or 2 other times throughout the day if the weather's nice. I also do strength training or Pilates with my husband 3 to 4 times a week. That's time that we can enjoy spending together and motivate each other. Working out isn't just about appearances or a number on a scale for me. My mom passed away from Alzheimer's when she was only 69. Less than 2 years later, my sister passed away suddenly from health issues. She was the same age I am now. So working out for me is about longevity. I want to outlive both of them. The last hobby I want to share is learning something new. You'd probably expect me to talk about reading or taking classes, but for the last year or two, I've spent all my time on the computer. I know that's not what you were expecting me to say. I'm not a computer person either, but I think it's a necessity these days. I try to stay current with the software and the apps that support my creative projects. To be honest, I spend more time on the computer these days than I do making art. It's just kind of the nature of the beast with a YouTube channel and online classes. To make those things happen, there are a lot of computer tasks I have to do, but I try to reframe them as tasks that I get to do and as an opportunity to learn something new. I'm always trying to get better at filming and video editing. Right now, I'm learning a new publishing software for another project. More about that soon. If I have a project that I want to bring to life, I'm willing to put in the computer time to make it happen. So now you know what I'm up to when I'm not painting. My hobbies are always evolving and I'm always looking for new hobbies to try. So I'd love to know what hobbies you're into. Leave a comment below. Let me know what hobbies you think artists should take up when they're not making art.